All right, so it looks like the police aren't going to put up with this much longer. It looks like more and more of the police are not even the police. This is the listen. If the New World Order starts losing the police, shit's gonna get real. Okay, I'm just telling you now. So we have a police officer up in I believe it's the Peel region, and he's been identified as Paul Brown, I believe his name is, and he's been suspended because he told a global news journalist to back off because you're agitating the crowd. And these were a crowd of people. I wish I was there. I wish I could have joined you. I had a lot of different things that I was doing, but you know what? If I had known that that protest was taking place, I'd have joined them. I'd have joined them. Yes, it's one of the few rallies that I've missed. But he told global news journalists, "Hey, piss off! You're agitating this crowd." And these were a group of people who were protesting the fact that this gym was being harassed by bylaw officers, which have no rights, and we all know that from Kevin J. Johnson and the government. They all are harassing this gym, which has defied the lockdown orders and stayed open. Yes, and yay and amen, and boom, shakalaka goes right there. I agree with them 100%. Keep up the civil disobedience. Stay firm. Camp out in your stores, in your restaurants, in your gyms, in your barbershops. If you have to, go underground, do covert operations, do everything you got to do. Even the popo is coming on our side now. And this officer pack off. And the officer was giving hugs and everything. He was giving people hugs, and they suspended him for that. They suspended the boy for that. But you know, let's we can read the article and then we can get into it. Mr. Engineer, if you can put that article up there. All right, this is the snitching global news, and you know, the only reason I'm reading off of their website, I mean, it's a diseased website. This is a diseased website. Don't watch global news. Don't give them any money. Don't give them any attention. The only reason I'm doing this now is because they're the only ones reporting on it. But don't give them any attention. This is a diseased news site. They are tainted. It's diseased. I can smell the sulfur coming out of this website. But let's, Mr. Engineer, if you can run this film here, and then we can react to it.
Pretty somber news in the first part of the newscast, but there is a significant portion of people out here who do not believe all of those numbers. They doubt the system, and many of those people are out here in Mississauga.
Well, no, yeah, we do doubt the system. If you could just, we do doubt the system. I mean, let's give you the facts here. This guy's trying to make it out like as if we're all a bunch of crazy people. I mean, that's fine. I mean, he's paid to do that. This virus kills less than 1% of the people who get it. That's a fact. That's CDC numbers. That's a fact. Less than 1% of people. Less than 1% of people who get the China virus. I refuse to say COVID. I say China virus, not because of Asians. It's because it came from China and because it pisses off the New World Order when you say that. And every virus has been named after the origin that it comes from. That has nothing to do with China, but everyone who's gotten the China virus, less than 1% of people who get it end up dying. Less than 1% of people. That's number one. Number two, Sweden never had a lockdown, and it still doesn't have a lockdown. That's a very smart country. The Vikings, so Scandinavian countries are light years ahead of most countries. Okay, they have everybody in those countries. They're happy. It's one of the happiest places on earth. Sweden. They never had a lockdown, and their numbers are actually going down. Same with Florida and Texas, which have ended their mask mandate, ended their life. Their numbers are going down. And I've speculated that it's because their immune systems have become used to the virus. So that's why I believe their numbers. Japan didn't have a lockdown. And they have a tiny landmass with a large population. Now people say, oh, well, they wear masks. No, that's a Chinese thing. A few Japanese people here and there wear masks, but that's a Chinese thing. And it's because of pollution. They don't want to smell the pollution as badly. So stop mixing and mingling the Chinese and Japanese culture. That's racist as far as I'm concerned. Y'all want to go on about racism. Japanese don't, it's the Chinese things to run around wearing masks all the time for pollution reasons. So that's the facts here. Those are the facts. Those are the facts. Fauci said that masks don't work, and now he says it does work. the CDC, and all these kind of people. So yeah, we are skeptical of the system. Look at all these politicians who have gone off to their private islands and their homes. Doug Ford gone off to weddings. Justin Pataki and Mac Daddy Trudeau gone off to his cottage, and all this sort of stuff going on. They're not following their own rules, so they believe it's rubbish. So I mean, and by the way, I know a few people who work for Uber Eats, and a lot of the times the restaurants tell them to pick up the food in the store. And when they say, no, let's pick it up at the drive-thru, no, they say, no, we won't give it to you in the drive-thru. Why would you do it? But then they tell them when you go in the store, you better wear a mask. You wear a mask. You wear a mask. You wear a mask. I was in a store the other day. I don't know. I won't get into that. I won't get into that. But anyway, but that's the thing. That's the situation. So yeah, we do doubt what people are saying. So let's continue with this guy who's paid to talk now. Let's continue with it.
I'm in front of Huff Gym, which is a gym that decided to reopen earlier this week. We've been out here for 3 days. When I showed up here this morning, before my cameraman arrived, I was confronted by this woman.
To feed their family and not be on UBI.
So you get a flavor of the kind of people who are out here. But more interestingly is that Peel police sergeant unmasked, who is interacting with many of the protesters, many of the people who are here as patrons of the gym, hugging.
Let's pause this. Can you see why I say global news is diseased? Look what they're doing to this man. Look what they're doing to him. And I salute this police officer, okay? I salute this guy. I want to see if someone can find me information on this man so we can do an interview with him, so we can help this brother out. Let's do it. Because we have always criticized the police for not standing up, for not having the balls, for not having the spine to stand up and to say no to the system, the New World Order. And this guy has done it. And now we can't just leave him on the back foot like that. We have to do something. I don't know what we can do. If someone can put in the comments how we can help this guy, maybe we can do some fundraiser. We can host this underground gala or underground charity party or something so we can raise money to help this individual. This is a patriot. Listen, this police officer, whoever he is, I think they put his name there. We're going to look for his name. But this guy is a patriot. This is a patriot. This is a patriot. He's going to heaven. I'm telling you, he's going to. This police officer. Listen, he may have lost his job and all this stuff. Global News snitched on him. All this stuff. They're putting the camera on this dude, kind of get him to lose his job. He's probably got children. He's probably got a wife. Now they're going to try and get him to lose his job. These Global News dirtbags, these bastards, these sons of Satan. They're going to hell. I curse everybody who works at Global News with cancer. I pray that all their food in their cupboards and their refrigerator turns to mold. I pray that if anybody who works at Global News is trying to have a child, instead of semen coming out of the penis, dust comes out of the penis, and the ovaries turn to dust and ashes, so they can't reproduce. This man, this police officer, is a patriot. He's a hero. He's an angel of God. And we got to find him. We got to help him out. I'm determined to help him out. We got to do something, do some secret fundraising or something, and help this brother out. Find me this guy's information. We can do an interview. If he doesn't want to do an interview, I can understand. We can help him out, give him money, host things, do something, because we've been complaining about the police officers not standing up. And now that we see a police officer that stands up, and the sergeants and the commanders just a few weeks ago stood up to Doug, the domesticated house slave Ford, who should have died instead of his brother Rob. They all stood up. Now we can't just leave him hanging here. So we got to stand up and support this guy. So find out who this is so we can support him. Let's continue.
And handshaking with patrons here, posing for photographs. And that sergeant, when we were here with our cameras, did not back away. That sergeant was openly taking photographs and, as you can see, was participating with these people here. What's interesting is the fact that here at the gym, bylaw and police officers have been trying to enforce an order that the gym not open, but they've been unsuccessful. Bylaw officers actually stayed out here for a couple of days. The owner would not accept a summons, would not accept a ticket. And even last night, when some patrons said that they would not stop.
Mr. Engineer, if we can just back up a bit. I just saw someone that I know.
Out here for a couple of days. The owner would not accept the summons, would not.
Y'all know who she is, right? This lady here. That's Kellyanne Wolf. That's a good friend of mine. She's a great woman. She's done a lot for this province and for this country. She's another one. She's a good woman. She was arrested too, you know. She was beaten. She was battered. She was bruised by the Toronto police. They dragged that woman off her soapbox. This is a good woman. They beat her in jail, you know. They beat her. Martin Luther King style. They bust her. Stephen Biko style. They beat her. I almost killed her, actually. She had broken ribs. They beat her. I mean, she's a small woman, short, maybe just under 5 foot, maybe, I don't know. And they beat her. I almost killed her. I'm telling you. And she doesn't like to talk about it. But she's another one we got to lend our support to and our prayers to, okay? So we got to do, these are two people, we keep them in your prayers. I'm serious, too.
Accept a ticket. And even last night, when some patrons said that they would not stop for police, they went onto the street and police pulled them over, and they were issued $880 tickets. The owner is steadfast.
All right, let me just pause again. Don't pay those fines, okay? If you get a ticket and you pay it without fighting it, you need to go to hell. You're sending the movement backwards. I know people are going to say that sounds harsh, but we have to start getting harsh. There's a war we're fighting, and war is not pretty. This isn't sunshine and flowers. War is harsh, and this is a war. This is a cold civil war. You know, like how we had the Cold War with the United States and Russia. This is a cold civil war between the New World Order and the Patriots within Canada. And I say this is a global civil war too, but because I'm Canadian, my loyalties are with the most we can, because it's a country I love. People always tell me, oh, you're always beating down on Canada. You always beat. If I didn't care about Canada, I wouldn't talk about Canada, you know. This is my country, so this is a cold civil war. But don't pay those fines. Fight it. Most of the people who have gotten fines, the fines have been thrown out. You know that. The media doesn't want to talk about it, but I've met people who've gotten fines, and they've been thrown out completely. Didn't have to pay a penny. So fight it. And if you get a fine and you don't fight it, you ought to burn in hell, because then that means that you're encouraging them to send more fines. Every single fine needs to be thrown in the garbage. Do not pay a fine without fighting it. If the judge says, you know, well, blah, 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 you know, and the Supreme Court, they say, no, you better pay it, or at least a judge, then okay, fine. But if you don't fight that fine and you end up paying it, you ought to burn it. You're just as bad as Doug the domestic and house slave Ford. And I've said too, if you haven't gotten a fine or you haven't been arrested or beaten by police or anything like that, that means you're just as bad as well, because you haven't participated in ramping up the pressure. So, you know, they can send out all the fines they want, but a lot of them have to be thrown out because a lot of them are based on illegalness. These laws are illegal. I'm telling you, and they know this. The reason why Doug the domesticated house slave Ford didn't go through with his, you know, plan to have police, you know, search people and because he knew it was illegal, and they stood up to him. So if we stand up to him, he'll have to back down, and he'll be going back on television crying and weeping and moaning like the little bitch he is. All right, so let's continue here.
She's resolute that notwithstanding, she is going to remain open. Here's what she had to say.
We have the Canadian Bill of Rights up, so why am I not allowed to operate?
Spreading fear. Yeah. 99.97% recovery rate, and you call this a pandemic.
Exactly.
That man indicative of most of the protesters here, all unmasked this afternoon. Coming up on Global News at 6, more on what's going on here and more on that Peel Police Sergeant and what Peel Police has done tonight. Back to you, Alan.
Just incredible video there. Thank you, Sean.
All right. So that's the video there. And so actually, let's go back here, Mr. Engineer, if we can go back. So that officer has actually been suspended. by the chief, and people are saying that his name is Paul Brown, Sergeant Paul Brown. I don't know if that's his name or not, but Sergeant Paul Brown. So if anybody knows who he is, let him know that Arana Nation, the commander-in-chief of Arana Nation, is looking for him. We want to help him out in any way. It's probably a tough time, but he has done a great service. And listen, great things happen to people who suffer for on behalf of what's right. So he's suffering on behalf of what's right, and he's going to be rewarded for it. Just like the pastor up in James Coates up in the church up in Alberta. This guy, and the reason why we have to also help him too is because if we just leave him hanging, he'll start getting regrets, and he might start, so we got to help him. We got to. But I'm telling you something. Either there's going to be a coup, Argentinian style, Simon Bolivier style, Colonel Galtieri style type of coup in Ontario, where you start getting police officers up in this province and across Canada who end up saying, look, we're not going to take this foolishness no more. We're not going to take this. We're not going to take this. I'm telling you, you're going to start seeing police officers come out of Toronto. You're going to start seeing them come out of Hamilton. You're going to start seeing them come out of Durham region. You're going to start seeing them come out of Niagara Falls, St. Catharines, the Sudbury, Ottawa, Cambridge, Windsor. You're going to start seeing police come out here and say, look, we're not going to take this no more. I mean, look, you have us running around here being abused. Everybody's starting to hate us. We already had them Black Lives Matter people who hate us. Now we got our own people hating us. People who were normally on the so-called deferential conservatives who used to love police, and now they beginning to hate us because we're being used as dictators. And we just not going to take this anymore. We're not going to take this anymore. We're not taking it anymore. We're not going to take this. You have us running around here. You got Doug the domesticated house slave Ford. You got Justin Tuckett and Mac Daddy Trudeau. You got that Hargan boy up there in BC. None of these people have ever served in the military. None of these people have ever been a police officer. None of these people have ever worn any kind of military or combative uniform. And you got these police officers running up and down, giving tickets, locking people up, making criminals out of more and more Canadians. And more Canadians are hating the police. We're hated. We're called pigs. Arana Nation tearing us down, and everybody tearing us down. And you have us giving out tickets and they're being thrown out. We're being abused. We're being assaulted. Nobody likes us. We're not going to take this anymore. We're not going to take, and they're going to rise up. They're not going to take this anymore. And I'm joining them. No doggone. I am. I mean, look what's happening in British Columbia now. Do you know right now in British Columbia, they are getting away with what they failed to get away with up in here in Ontario? Because, the people are down there in BC, and I'm sorry, I don't know if you live in BC, I'm sorry. But a lot of y'all don't have the fortitude that we up here in Ontario. I mean, listen, you try telling police officers to go up and down some of the streets of Scarborough, or some of them streets down there in the York area in Toronto. I mean, some of them tough streets down there, and you start telling them to go after people and say, "Hey, what you doing? What's your address?" And you'll be run out of town. You'll be run out of town. I mean, you think this is some kind of joke. And now the people in British Columbia are now being prevented from traveling in their own province, like in Cuba. Hey, where are the police chiefs up there in Vancouver? Where are the police chiefs in Victoria? Where are the police chiefs in Burnaby? Where are the police chiefs in New Westminster? Where are they? Where's the police chief in Dawsonbury? Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? I mean, this is a war word. Where are you? You gonna let that Horgan boy or Hargan, whatever his name is, you gonna let that boy tell you, hey, look up people's address, and you harass everybody up in here and you tell them that they can't travel within their own province? You gonna let that boy who's never served in the military, never served as a police, you gonna let him push you around like that? You gonna let him diminish the badge of a police? He probably don't even like the police. He's an NDP, he's a socialist. I bet you if a large group of people, let's say a large group of Black people and freaky white folk came up in BC and told John Hargan to defund the police, I'll tell you, I think he would do it. No, I know he would do it. So you're gonna let this boy, who is ready to defund your ass, to have you running around with faulty equipment, with less than up-to-date vehicles, with no police cameras or proper, bullet safety vests, and just a defunded budget. You're gonna let this guy tell you that you have to go up and forward and out of your way to now you, instead of protecting, to serve and protect, and to protect the citizens of British Columbia, like now you're supposed to go above and beyond, and now you got to harass anyone and everyone that you see in public, asking them for their address, what they're doing outside, why they're traveling, all this. You're gonna let that boy do that to you, British Columbia police chiefs? Lord, I'm telling you, there's gonna be a revolution in this country. I'm telling you, there's gonna be a major political shift in this country if these people aren't careful. And I'm knocking on wood because I want it to happen. Because these police chiefs are not going to take this foolishness from you Canucks any longer. I'm telling you. And if the police start getting on our side and they start talking about coup d'etats and revolution, I'm going to tell you something. I'm joining them. I will join them. I'm praying for their success. I hope they'll let me join them. I do. No, I do. I'd be the first there. If you want to start doing some coup d'etat, the police up at OPP or police in British Columbia or RCMP, if y'all want to start some, hey, just give me the name, give me the time and place, and we'll do it. We'll do it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, 100%. You want to drag Doug Ford out of his house at 2:00 in the morning with his pajamas on and his night hat on, dragging on the floor, his wife there, everything, and take him down to police headquarters and all those MPPs, and you put him in some secret location and you take over the government, I'll join you. I'll join and put up something different. I'll join. Yeah, I'm done. What you mean? Gotta teach these people a lesson, man. I'm telling you. Gotta teach. Look at Doug Ford up there going up on television. Oh, crying. I'm sorry. He's only crying because poll numbers are down. And I'm not voting for Doug Ford. I will vote though. And I see a lot of people say, oh, I'm not voting. Yes, voting is rigged. But can I tell you something? Will you allow me will you give me the opportunity to talk to you with an open mind, an open brain, open eyes, open ears? Just hear me out. Just hear me out. Y'all say you don't want to vote. Yes, it is rigged. But why are you going to make it easy for them to rig it? Why are you going to make it easy for them? The less people who vote, the easier it is to rig. Because that means that there's less ballots there. And they can do ballot stuffing, they can do all that stuff. The more of us who vote and overwhelm the system, the more of us who put ballots into the ballot boxes, it makes it harder for these riggers to rig it. They have to stay up 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, sorting through everything. By the time they've sorted through all the ballots, it doesn't make sense to rig. So why make it easier for them? They can still rig it, but I don't want to make it easy for them. I want to overwhelm them. I want to overwhelm them worse than a cashier who works at Walmart on Good Friday. Worse than that. I want to overwhelm them with ballots. I want to overwhelm them. I want to bum rush them with ballots. I want to nuke them with ballots. I want to carpet bomb them with ballots. I want to bomb the shit out of them with ballots. So that it's harder for them to rig it. I want these people to suffer when they rig the election. Let them suffer. Let them suffer. Let them burn. Let them die of thirst. Let them die of tiredness because they're staying up all night having to sort the ballots and then figure out a way to rig it and then all this stuff. I want them to die of exhaustion. I want them to die of exhaustion sitting there. I want their bums, their backsides, their butts, when they're sitting in that chair trying to rig that election. I want the bones in their butts to burn because they have to sit in that chair for so long. I want it to burn. I want it to be spicy and spices and seasonings running through their butts because they're sitting on that chair so long, it hurts. And then when they go to the bathroom to do the do, it hurts worse than child labor pains. Bleeding comes out of their anuses when they do the do because they were sitting on that chair for so long, they won't be able to sit down to do the do. They'll have to squat like this because they have to sit on that chair so long because we overwhelm them with ballots. So don't tell me, don't give me this nonsense. Oh, I'm not gonna vote. I'm not gonna vote. I'm not gonna vote. So then what are you gonna do? If you don't play, unless you plan on taking up arms and starting a coup d'etat, don't talk to me about no, you're not voting. Because then what are you gonna do then? What are you gonna do? Then you're worse than all of them. If you're not gonna vote and you're not gonna do a coup d'etat, then what are you gonna do? You're gonna move? Well, the New World Order is just gonna move with you. Look at Texas. All them people from California, they destroyed California, the Golden State. It was a beautiful state. They destroyed it. Now you go to San Francisco, there's feces on the ground, dead dogs in the street, garbage don't get picked up, and it's liberals. And they destroyed the place. And now they're trying to follow them to Texas. All those people in California who were sick and tired of it, they lost all hope. They didn't want to vote and they didn't want to do a coup d'etat. They just decided, oh, I'm just going to leave. I'm going to go to Texas. I'm going to go to Florida. The people are from California. They destroyed California. Now they follow them to Texas and they're destroying Texas now. Sooner or later, Texas is going to be just as bad as California and Florida too. So I ain't running nowhere. I'm gonna stay right here in Ontario. This is my home. This is where I was born. I was born in Oshawa. This is where I lost my first tooth. This is where I, went to preschool. I'm staying right here. I can move too. I'm a dual citizen. I can move to the U.S. In fact, I'm in the U.S. quite frequently now because of this whole thing. I'm planning a trip. I can move. I ain't going to you. I'm gonna let these people move me out of my homeland. I'm staying right here. Because if I move, they're just gonna follow me. When they destroy the place, they're just gonna follow me to Florida and destroy it too. Before the whole world, I ain't going nowhere. I'm staying right here. And I'm gonna win too. So that's what I gotta say on this whole situation. And I support that police officer. Somebody give me his name. Somebody give me his information so that we can help him out here. This is the Arana. Make sure to like this video, please. It helps with the YouTube algorithms. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, but most importantly, share this video because I'm losing subscribers because YouTube is getting rid of the accounts of my subscribers. So you need to share this video so I can make up for the loss. So please, you gotta help me out here. If you're just listening to these videos and you're not doing anything, please help me out. Help me. Don't let them destroy me. This is